Hello, it's Little Plays. We're back to talk about more Pokemon TCG Pocket, specifically about free to play. I'm of course on vacation, so I have to make videos to yap about. And something that I'm very passionate about is free to play, especially for Pokemon TCG Pocket, since I've been free to play since the initial release of the game and when I initially started playing. So I'm going to be talking about some basic strategies for free-to-play players, you know, whether you should jump in or not, and some things that I think can help you mentally stay on track to still have fun with the game, you know, for being a free-to-play player. So, oh, you saw all my notes. Yo, don't pause and just read all that. So I'm going to go through kind of all the basic stuff that you probably already know, but I have to, you know, talk about it because it is a part of the game, you know, just in case people don't know. So starting off, refresh monthly hourglasses. Make sure that you're always buying these. These refresh every month, and basically the only way that you can actually buy everything. Do the pack hourglass and the wonder hourglass. Overall, I think it's around 300-ish, maybe like 360 total shop tickets that you need to buy all this. Also, shop tickets are really not a good form of currency. They're really not used for anything else. Sometimes you might see some frames that are here for 28 days. That's completely fine. Shop tickets are really easy to get. I'll talk about that in a second. And all these like kind of covers are easily buyable. They stay in the shop forever. So really, your shop tickets should always be optimized to buy this every single month that this refreshes. In terms of if you need more shop tokens, you can actually get 5 per day, and the best way to do that is either by battling or doing wonder picking. But for wonder picking, you don't want to really be wasting your stuff wonder picking on bad things just to get the shop tickets. So obviously just battling is the easiest way to do it, and really the easiest way to do is just do versus, do a random match, make it casual, you know, hit battle, then concede immediately, and likely they will thank you. Make sure that you're thanking them, and then, you know, you can just get 5 shop tickets very easily, 5 per day. Very easy. Next thing is solo missions. Again, everyone probably knows about this, but all these solo missions, especially since the new expansion just came out, every time you beat them, they give you some hourglasses, which is really important for free to play. So if you haven't done, you know, all the solo missions, definitely do that. Especially if you're a new player getting into the game, do all the solo missions for all the old expansions too, because you can just basically farm all the hourglasses. So it's really important that you do that. Easy tokens. Also, another strategy is the auto battler for this thing. So whenever you're about to battle something, you turn on this auto battler in the top and the bottom right. It's really only efficient for the lower battles that take literally no skill, as well as make sure that you're using kind of a basic deck for that, and it'll definitely work a lot better. But essentially, using that auto battler will save you some time. Use a basic deck, hit auto battle, just let it do, you know, hopefully it does the challenges for you. Hopefully it wins for you. Make sure to do the challenges as well, easy shop tickets as well as hourglasses. And just kind of set your phone aside and just let it auto battle and then come back to it like 5 minutes. That's normally what I do. This one is finally a big one. So we're going to be talking about ranked. So ranked matches, you know, is coming soon, because it just ended, but I basically just hit Ultra Ball rank, even though I wasn't even really trying. Subtle flex. And I got, I think, 75 hourglasses, and it resets every month, with like the new expansion, I believe. And if you get to Master Ball rank, you get 100 hourglasses. So getting 100 hourglasses is really, really good. So you're going to want to make sure that you're doing rank matches every single season, as well as does help you make sure that you get your tickets as well. Now, to do well in the ranked matches, that is where having a really strong meta deck is essential, especially for free-to-play players. We don't always have the best cards available to us. So you're going to want to use websites, kind of like this, Pokemon Meta, that essentially tell you what, and excuse all the ads, there's several other, you know, websites like this, but essentially they tell you what decks are good, they tell you what cards are in them. This one is specifically based on tournament matches, but essentially you're going to want to find the highest tier deck, or if you don't have the cards for it, what cards do you have that you can build one of these decks. Obviously this is tier 1 through 4. You know, these are still meta competitive decks, Other sites will tell you like win percentages, that these are around 50%, but obviously you want to run with the highest percent stuff if you have the cards for it. And then following that, if you don't have the cards for it, try to go for something similar, or if you can kind of switch out cards, specifically tools are really easy to do. You know, what's the difference between a leap cape and a giant cape? You know, very similar aspect. You know, if you don't have those minor things, sometimes you can make minor replacement and the deck can be really, really strong. A lot of times you can't replace the supporters, although, you know, Mars, for example, like the disruption cards, red card, Mars, you know, those type of cards can be really easy to just kind of switch out. But you don't want to use pack filler on bad cards, specifically like Pokedex and Scope. Those are very, very bad cards. You do not want to use those at all. So ideally you have, you know, the ability to make these decks. If you don't, you know, try to manage the best you can. This is only a website showing these decks, but there's plenty of decks out there that have higher win rates depending on what you have, especially if you're free to play. So if you don't have them, potentially you can craft them. But I will say, for a specific deck, make sure you count up all the pack points that you have to craft the deck, and if it's actually worth it for you to craft all the cards in the deck. If it's just an off-meta deck, that's also bad. Don't make off-meta decks. I know it can be very boring to play rank mode over and over with a deck that's good. You know, I like to be creative. I like to mess around with cards and stuff, but ultimately you are doing this strictly for the hourglasses. And this next update, you can't reduce points in terms of ranked, and whenever you're doing these ranked matches, so you can only go up. Even whenever you lose, you can only go up, which is really, really good for us. So you want to get one of these high tier decks so that you can consistently win, hit Master Ball, and then you're done. You don't have to do it anymore. Then you can go have fun on the casual ladder and play whatever deck you want. So the next thing I want to talk about in terms of pack selection, especially if you're a free to play player, you will notice that a lot of the meta is based around newer card expansions. So especially if you're jumping right in and you weren't around for Genetic Apex and stuff like that, you don't really want to be pulling from those cards because they are bad. They are not really meta relevant anymore. Specifically bad packs that you don't want to open. Genetic Apex, Mythical Island, Triumphant Light. Oof, that was a tough one, wasn't it? Shining Revelry has some good ones. Spacetown Smackdown has some good ones. The rest, I would argue, are pretty okay. Wisdom of the Sea and Sky, also okay. Again, the more investment you are into the newer packs, the more likely you are to stick around with the meta. So don't really jump back to the old packs unless you're really hunting for something, which, you know, ideally you're not. Because the meta is always, you know, the new packs that are coming out are better than the old packs, so ideally the cards are stronger. Next thing I want to talk about, new update just came out where you can actually trade with people now and show off your wish list. Make sure that whenever you are battling, whenever you're, you know, thanking someone, whatever, increase your friend count list. Trade with your friends so that you can fill out your deck counter. Now it takes even less to trade, and I believe you can trade up to stars. But really you just want to fill out your basic decks. I'm kind of just like the collective type, but even if you want like a good meta deck, you can also trade with people, show off you know, what is in your wish list versus other people, so you can easily trade with people and reach out to them of like what they need versus what you need. Make sure that the stars and stuff matches. So for example here, like wish list isn't shown, but essentially down here I have 20 cards because that's the max amount, and these are basically just collection cards that I need to fill out my collection so I can get the emblems. But basically, how do I get to that wish list icon? Just go to my cards. You can go like open that up, and then as soon as you click on one that you don't have obtained, in the top right corner you can hit wish list. It's going to say you can't have more than 20 cards because I've already inputted 20 of them, but essentially you go through, figure out what cards you need. As soon as you collect those cards, you're going to unclick them because, you know, obviously your friends will see that you know, still don't have those cards and you still want them. So make sure that you're doing that. Make sure that you're trading as much as you can to kind of fill out your collection. Again, try to aim for meta decks. I would always start there because that leads to, you know, playing ranked matches and getting better at the game. Overall, you know, doing ranked matches is better for you. Get hourglasses at the end of the day. Very, very good. And then this kind of last kind of section of it is kind of my personal opinion, and always make sure that you are opening your packs. You get 2 a day, don't miss them. I know it can kind of suck because you open a pack, you miss out on all the good stuff, and then you're like, I never want to touch this game anymore. I know I've kind of been through that phase, but just power through. Realize statistically it's okay for however many packs you open that you're gonna whiff. That is natural. Unfortunately, we're not, you know, crazy PokeTuber content creators that can just open hundreds of packs, get all the things, and then immediately go have fun with the decks, because we're free to play people, and it ultimately takes a certain number of packs to have roughly all the cards in the thing. So for me personally, and only wonder pick whenever you're going through this, I only wonder pick for EX Pokemon. Don't go for like any like full art like this Centric here. You know, only go for EX cards really, because they cost 3, and you want to get your value out of wonder picking, because wonder picking is actually better than opening a pack, because it's 20% chance compared to like the 1% that you get from opening a pack. So it is actually a lot higher. And don't think that wonder picking, there's any strategy to it. Really just click a thing, it's 20% chance, it's all luck. You know, I've felt so annoyed when I'm like clicking on that thing and I wish I could have clicked another spot and gotten a crazy EX. But again, it is just luck of the draw. Eventually you will win an EX that you don't have. I actually like to open a certain amount of packs for each expansion. And normally I set the goal of doing 500 pack points per expansion. So for this expansion, I actually had tons of Hourglass saved up, because I also did a lot of these challenges that you can find in missions. There's actually a new challenge that just came out that was like for 36 Hourglasses. Also make sure you're doing your daily missions. Why did I even bring that up? That's obviously crucial. Log in, do a wonder glass, or just do a battle and then open a pack, and you get 4 Hourglasses free every day. Really important. Kind of missions as well, because there can be Hourglasses that you can win from that, or the wonder pick Hourglasses. Very important. But yeah, as I said, I normally like getting to a wonder pack total of 500, which, if you think about that in terms of math, get 5 pack points, so it's 100 packs. Each expansion is around 30 days, so you get 2 packs a day. You overall get 60 packs just from free-to-play stuff, and then 40 packs left that you have to open using your Hourglasses. I then actually only open packs once I get to 120 Hourglasses. So I can open 10 at a time, and it just kind of feels mentally much more rewarding than spending every time I get 12 you know, Hourglasses, and then I spend it and I don't get anything good. So in total, you really need about 480 Hourglasses plus daily pack openings to reach this kind of goal, and you should statistically have a majority of the cards. You can then use those pack points to kind of spend the 500 to get an EX that you don't have, and then ultimately you can just get the rest of the cards by just doing the trades, because the trades have been updated to be a lot easier. Also recently the trades just switched from trade tokens back to Shine Dust, so you can also, if you haven't already, you can trade all your trade tokens for right here, Hourglasses, and I believe it goes up to 60. So I still have a whole bunch of trade tokens that I need to change to Shine Dust, but obviously that can be helpful as well. And specifically for this expansion, when there's 2 packs, I just kind of split the 40 packs left over into 2, so basically 2 10 packs for each. But essentially, you know, trying to hit 500 points for each expansion, and then you just save your Hourglasses for the next one. You always want to be up to date with Pokemon TCG news. A lot of YouTubers will help post codes for free Hourglasses from events that are happening, and it's really, really helpful. Another last thing, your mentality, at least for free to play, really has to be based on the fact that realistically you won't get every card in the game without spending money, meaning you won't get every full art, you're not going to get all the shiny rares, you're not going to get all the graphics, etc. But you can at least get the base set, which is enough to have fun with the game and play with the cards and kind of make strategy decks. So that's overall my opinion. I know it's a lot of yapping, but you know, I'm gonna put a YouTuber in the comment section below that I actually like. He posts daily, just gives updates about cards, leaks, as well as any Hourglasses that might show up or anything that's free. So really helpful. And then finally, let me know your personal opinions with the game in terms of free to play and how you manage your hourglasses below. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.